my mindset was I'm gonna do it, and if it flop, it flop. If it don't, I mean, like, what's the worst can happen? If it don't work out,
Yeah.
it ain't like it's gonna set me back any further.
Yeah, and that goes back to how does your brain think about all the stuff that goes along with this? That's the prime example. You got to be willing to suck.
Yeah.
Right? And you got to be willing to look dumb.
Everybody, I feel like, sucks and look dumb in the beginning.
You all, and that's the other part of it.
yeah.
At the beginning, you always gonna suck, and you always gonna look dumb. Period. So anybody that's like, I'm afraid to look dumb. Well, if you're afraid to look dumb for a year or 2 years or 10, then entrepreneurship not for you anyway.
So now we're recording. What's going on, everybody? This is the Breakdown Podcast. I'm your host, Aaron, and I'm here with two dope entrepreneur my bad. I'm here with two dope entrepreneurs out here in the city of Richmond, man. I'm gonna start on my right here.
No question. Justin Q. Young, artist, entrepreneur, painter, I can't even talk. It's starting to rub off on you.
Oh man.
Owner of Paint and Sip, located in Regency Square Mall.
All right, and then on my left.
What up? It's Rialand Jones, aka. I got no more. See, I had y'all on suspense.
Yeah,
right
look.
I was like,
Okay,
what do you want to
Oh
say?
yeah, what you coming with? What you coming with?
The owner of Lamar Marie Gourmet Popcorn, and a company called Aria Global,
Okay.
and then another company called Aria Trucking. So that's what we are, man.
Yeah. I got to talk to you about that trucking stuff.
No,
man.
hey, listen, bro. I'm about to say that. I'm about to pull at your earlobe.
Yeah,
No question.
we trying to do some things, you know.
Yeah, definitely. And look, so I was wanting to start this podcast off by thanking both of y'all, man, for being here. It's dope that y'all want to participate in this and just, share y'all stories and share y'all view on just entrepreneurship in general. Excuse me. But the first episode, you know what I'm saying, I want to just talk about mindset, mindset of an entrepreneur, mindset of what we go through, what we gotta go through, and just talk about that a little bit and like give people
Perspective.
exactly.
Yeah.
So with that being said, you know what I'm saying.
You definitely got to be prepared to juggle and wear all hats, because going into your vision, you might not have all the financial elements to be able to bring other people on, right? So you're gonna do the marketing, you're gonna do customer service, you're gonna do pretty much the research. You're doing everything, you know what I'm saying? And if you come and hold on, it seems like I'm fading in and out.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it. Like,
Yeah. But
yeah, it's like.
can you get it? Yeah, so
Yeah, there you go. There you
all
go.
right. But yeah, like I was saying, you're gonna have to wear all the hats. And if you don't have like a real perspective on that, you're gonna find yourself overwhelmed.
Yeah,
And maybe discouraged.
Yeah.
And what you think, man?
I think the same thing. I think that some people, when it comes to being an entrepreneur, you have two different, I think, kind of mindset. You have like, I want to own my own business.
I want to be free.
Yeah, I want to be free. I want to own my own business. And I think the word entrepreneur gets used a lot more frequently now than maybe 10 years ago, right? And then I think you have the mindset of an entrepreneur. And I think the mindset of a business owner is different from the mindset of an entrepreneur. To Q's point, everything he said applies to both. But then when you get to the entrepreneur actually part where you focus on, to me, it's you have to do all of those things Q said. You have to be willing to do all of those things. You have to be willing for it to fail and be okay with it so you can move to the next thing. But then you also, where the entrepreneur part to me comes in, you have to be ready to, you have to be willing to take everything that you would do for that business that you own and get more creative with it. So an entrepreneur would say, if I got
A lemonade stand.
If I got a lemonade stand and I'm just selling lemonade, I'm a business owner. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of people like that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. The entrepreneur would be like, cool, I got a lemonade stand. I use lemons, I use water, I got a cooler, I use cups, I use straws, right? The entrepreneur is like, cool, what else can I do with straws? Cups, lemons, the cooler, right?
No question.
So now they selling lemonade as a business owner. The entrepreneur be like, cool, well, now I'm going to sell lemonade kits. I'm just going to sell people the lemon in the cup.
No question.
Right.
And a water bottle, and they can make the lemonade when they get home.
No question.
Right? They'll say, my lemonade is unique because, insert reason, I'm going to start teaching how to make this lemonade at people's house. I'm having lemonade making parties.
No question.
Right? So that's an entrepreneur. To me, more of a skews to the entrepreneur, how you think about what you do in your business in addition to all the stuff you do as a business owner.
Right. So pulling it back, like mindset, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you think people need to have in their mind when they're going through an entrepreneur journey? Like, what do they need to be thinking about? Like, is it the actual how to get it done, or is it the
You got to be fearless.
Yeah.
right? Because I look at it like, I think about entrepreneurship of, like, me, how I see it, how I feel it is like just trying to figure out how to get things done, like just not getting stuck, like figuring out how to not to get stuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's, to me, an entrepreneur.
Even if you don't have all the intangible pieces, you
Right.
can figure it out as you go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because all of it is really, you know what I'm saying, you can work it around yourself. You can build entrepreneurship to work around you.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that's hard for a lot of people who doing a 9-to-5 thing or something like that. It's like, oh, well, I need it this way, or I need this, that, and the third one. I'm like, you can make that. You can make your own rules when it comes to this. It's just you got to be able to follow your own rules. You got to be able to follow a set of rules.
No question.
And that's why I think, you know what I'm saying, the mindset come in, like, how do you get yourself thinking outside of 9 to 5 and thinking inside of how do I make it work for myself? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a big step in growing when you start getting into entrepreneurship. How you feel?
Yeah. I think the same thing. So for, how somebody, like the mindset you have to have, how you think about stuff before we get to that part, then I guess I jumped ahead too far. To me, like, you got to be willing to break the rules. So if you're a 9-to-5 person, and let's just say, you was in school, you did decent to good, right? You're in that box of how to think about stuff. If you work a regular job for several years, you're in that box of how to think about stuff. A lot of that is being told what to do. Yeah. Even when you get higher in that, you're still being told what to do to a certain degree, and then depending on your position, you tell other people how to execute it. But you're still being told, so you're still in somewhat of a box. In the entrepreneur mindset, you have to kind of break out of that box to be an entrepreneur, to be a business owner, to even start as a business owner and migrate to entrepreneur. You have to have the mindset of a person that kind of doesn't care about the rules or is ready to break the rules to see what happens and be okay with it.
But still be able to respect the structure.
Right.
Because everything has a foundation that you got to adhere to, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you setting up your business, if we not going to do, or if we're going to do an official legit business, you got to do, file your incorporations, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, set up a banking account and all this, that, and the third or whatever, right? But also I wanted to add to what you had said, the accountability factor. Once you become an entrepreneur, we want to be free. We want that financial freedom. We want to be able to do what we need to do, with our time. But at the same time, don't F off. I don't know if I can cuss on this.
No.
Yeah. You don't want to be laying around in the bed at 12 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
because, bro, like I stick, and I call it sticking to the script.
Right.
I still do the same thing that I've been doing for the past, I would say, 10 years. Like I still get up at 6:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still checking my emails to see how I can set up the day.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I'm trying to execute. Like everything else can come. Life is going to come at us, you know what I mean, in the course of our day, where we're going to have to be able to, ad lib or, figure out some extra things, you know what I'm saying? But that path or that line, like I'm still going to do, still going to go to the shop, still going to knock these patterns out. I got to check the book. I got 4 parties today. I need to make sure these parties is set up. And then also becoming an entrepreneur and transitioning to a business owner, being able to delegate and trust that Jay can do the same thing. Yeah. You may can't do it to the same ability that I can do it, but I'm trusting you because I done trained you enough that you're going to at least be able to have it.
Handle
it.
Handle it and figure it out a little bit.
Yeah.
And I agree to that a lot. I'm working on that right now. I'm still
looking. It's a struggle.
Finding help. But that's something I'm working on right now.
Not just finding help, finding reliable help.
Yeah, no
that's
doubt.
True.
True. Lonnie B, he had made a post. Always just trying to give people their roses anytime I come across like good information. But Lonnie B made a post a couple of weeks ago. He said you got to have somebody You got to have somebody just as passionate about your vision as you are. And it made sense because if you're not as passionate as I am and my brand goes down, you're not eating.
Yeah.
So you need to be just as invested as me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it just made sense.
At the very beginning of the whole thing, and you got your idea, you got your idea. What's that mindset you gotta have to get started, to get it going, to get it off the ground?
Hungry. Mm-hmm. Like I said, you got to be hungry. You got to, whatever your vision is that you want to do. Like I'm sure we all came across people, male and female, who had great ideas, and I can tell you, I was probably one of them. I attended this function in Atlanta. It was like the bosses and something event in Atlanta. And when I went down there, brother, I could identify. It was like so thick and so I could see the difference in mentality versus Atlanta people and Virginia people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It was like in the things that they were saying. So and I want y'all to think about this too. When people talk about their vision and things that they want to do, they'll be like, I want to do this, I want to do that, right? In Atlanta, when I seen the difference, they were saying, I am going to do this. Mm-hmm. So now when I listen to people and they say, man, I want to write a book, my next day is, did you write anything down? No, I ain't been having the time. Oh, you ain't going to do it.
Yeah.
If you haven't at least took the initial steps, we may not know all. That's what I was telling you earlier. You may not know all the steps to publish your book, but at least start putting some notes and stuff down. You can piece the book together.
Yep.
Right.
You know what I mean? The more you start talking to people and telling your vision, man, life is going to send people to you.
Yeah.
You're going to start meeting people that know how to do graphic design, know how to do editing. You're going to start going on Facebook. Man, that's why I was telling you in my interview number 59, I believe.
That Ground Up podcast, you know.
He's like, shout out, shameless plug. Check out episode 59,
Check it out. But that's what I was saying, like, everything is going to come together, you know what I mean? But you got to at least be able to take that initiative, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and with that, like with the initiative part and starting, and this kind of goes back to the mindset thing and the rule breaking thing, you have to, we got ideas for like days and weeks and months and years. Mm-hmm. I bet there's 3 of us right now, we just
No
if
question.
we could probably fill all 4 of these walls with just ideas,
Exactly.
right? And then we just picked whatever we're doing right now was one of the million ideas, and we just picked it and executed on it.
Exactly.
But any idea you choose to execute on, the mindset part around that too is you have to be willing to change. Not just willing, you have to be okay with changing your environment internally and externally as much as possible.
I need like a bell or something.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
for real. Because if you want, I think fear is a big driver for not executing a lot of stuff, and I'm not exempt from that either. Even still, depending on what it is.
Or comfortability.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely comfortability.
yeah. So to move on it, you got to be vulnerable, and a lot of people aren't cool with that. So you want to do something, like you said, the book thing. I want to do the book, and I'm saying that. Look, even when I was doing my book, at the beginning of the book, one of the parts of the first chapter is talking about how many years I procrastinated on doing this book because I had the fear of writing the book and somebody reading and being like, "What in the hell is he talking about in this book?" You know what I mean?
I did. I think we all do it though.
Yeah.
But see, y'all wrote a book. I'm trying to get my wife to write a book. My passion wasn't necessarily the book writing thing, but it was really like what I'm doing right here, right now. The podcast part, the media part. So I was like, man, I'm YouTube. Hop on YouTube. I got to it. Yeah. It was scary. I'm not even gonna lie. It's scary. I didn't know if people gonna listen. Luckily, y'all are listening.
Yeah.
But I feel like we giving out good information, and I feel like good information will get listened to. But that fear didn't stop me from going. Like my mindset was, I'm gonna do it, and if it flop, it flop. If it don't, I mean, like, what's the worst gonna happen? If it don't work out,
Yeah.
it ain't like it's gonna set me back any further.
Yeah, and that goes back to how does your brain think about all the stuff that goes along with this? That's the prime example. You got to be willing to suck.
Yeah.
Right? And you got to be willing to look dumb.
Everybody, I feel like, sucks and look dumb in the beginning.
You always, and that's the other part of it.
yeah.
At the beginning, you always gonna suck, and you always gonna look dumb. Period. So anybody that's like, I'm afraid to look dumb. Well, if you're afraid to look dumb for a year or 2 years or 10, then entrepreneurship not for you anyway.
Right.
You need to go back and just do the other thing until your mindset changes or you grow mentally and emotionally and become okay with people judging you for what they think is failure. As long as you know it's not failure backwards, right? It's fail forward, and it's a lesson that you learn from it that moves you to the next thing, then you can do it. But if you can't mentally handle that type of stuff, then this is not for you anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
So bumps, and bumps in the road, just conflicts, all that type of stuff.
It's supposed to come.
It's supposed to come, right?
Expect it.
That's going to be a part of your testimony.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if everything was peachy and cream and you was getting everything that you wanted, every shot you threw up was nets, what's the excitement in that though?
Yeah. And if it was that smooth, everybody would do it anyway. Like, it's not going to be that smooth, and it's not going to be that easy.
Yeah, I say the same thing.
Like you got to expect, like Bruce Lee said, be water, right? Be like water.
Be fluid.
Yeah.
Bro, I was thinking about that earlier when we was talking too. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
As far as the mentality that you got to have, you got to be fluid with this.
You got to be able to pivot. I don't like to use that word all the time.
That's a good word though.
But you gotta be able to pivot. You gotta be able to move and flow and just, like I said, problem solve. That's the biggest thing about entrepreneurship is problem solving.
Yeah, if you're going to have a business, you're going to be an entrepreneur. Number one, first of all, your business itself is the answer to a problem.
Exactly.
Your target market has a problem. Your business, whether it's a service or product, is the answer to that problem. So you're already a problem solver. You gotta come at it from that perspective. And so that when other stuff comes, like you said, Aaron, you just look at solutions. That's the biggest thing. The people that are the most successful always focus on solutions. They don't focus on the issue that's the speed bump. The people that focus on the speed bump get stuck at the speed bump. The people who focus on solutions move past that onto the next speed bump because there's going to be one.
It definitely
Right?
It's a bunch
There's
of
going to be right. There's going to be one.
I got a prime example. Because I do parties and stuff, right? And then when COVID hit, we could no longer do outside parties, large groups. I had a friend of mine told me, like maybe about a year before COVID, she was like, Q, you need to go ahead and start putting together paint kits and shipping them to people. And I was like, nah, speaking towards that comfortability factor, right?
Yeah.
I was so comfortable with the large parties. I hadn't foreseen COVID happen or my business being stopped like that, right? I'm used to the parties, so I didn't even think about it. But then when COVID hit, I said, man, I got to do something because now I can't do parties. And then when I started doing the kits, and this is also speaking towards that fear thing, because when I first started shipping kits, I put it on the website, but I didn't really think that would hit like talking about it.
Right,
so I hadn't really thought that whole thing through. My first couple of orders, I was running the Lowe's and getting boxes, you know what I'm saying, as far as shipping boxes. I hadn't studied up on Uline. I hadn't studied up and did my research on try to get, brushes in bulk, you know what I'm saying, for the low. You know what I mean? I hadn't did none of that. It just was an idea. I need to put together some kits.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So again, when you're an entrepreneur, you have these ideas, but a lot of times it's not all the way thought through because we still moving from that position of fear.
Yeah.
Right.
I wonder if they really gonna buy it.
Yeah.
I wonder if I got the product that they like. We say we believe it.
Yeah, I think I got a dope product, but do y'all think I got a dope product?
Yeah.
That type of fear. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And you gotta like with what you did, that adjustment. And we was the same. Like we didn't even have at the popcorn store. We had a website. It existed.
Yeah.
It did almost nothing. We had launched the subscription, and this is the learning as you go.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It goes back to what you said. Like you start the thing, and then as you go, you learn more things about the thing to make it better.
True.
So we had the subscription. We launched it. It seemed like a good idea. It was not good. It was not good. It cost us money at first. I did the math.
Man.
I did the math completely wrong. I was like, "Oh, this is how we gonna do it. We was gonna use it as a loss leader for the most part because we just wanted to get people in. We just wanted to get customers, right? Because for us, if you buy during the year for the popcorn business, if you buy during the year, you're like 90% likely to repurchase at Christmas time. So really, a lot of us, because we are seasonal during the year, we just trying to get a bunch of new customers because they're more than likely will purchase in December, right? So that and our biggest quarter is Q4. But before COVID started happening and the shutdowns, the website wasn't really a revenue stream. It just existed. You could look at pictures. We didn't really sell anything. I mean, we got orders so infrequently. Sometimes, honestly, I would forget to even check it. And then somebody be like, "Yeah, I placed an order." I'd be like, "Oh, do we got an order?" That was 3 months ago. Look, let me refund your money and send you this popcorn. You know what I mean? When COVID happened, everybody's like, "Oh, the shutdown is coming. What we gonna do?" I was like, "Yeah." I called my boy Chris. He all like the tech guru. I said, "Yo, we have to put this website together right now, or we will not exist." And this is the part when you hit the speed bump. A lot of we were very fortunate. We put it together, and then some other things happened that were out of our control as far as the exposure that we got. But also, there was a lot of people, and I know y'all know them. They had things that were dependent upon people coming into their establishment, right? Yeah. That when COVID happened, they just shut it down. They just shut it down. It wasn't a solution thing. They were just like, "Oh, it's a shutdown.
It's a shutdown.
And I don't know what to do." Right. Yeah. And not to say that it was that simple or like take away, because I'm sure a lot of people tried a lot of things and it still didn't work out. But there was also, I think, significantly more. Yeah. That was just like, what are we going to do? You know what I mean?
PPP. I know what he's talking.
Yeah, look. And don't get me started on
Listen, I was seeing people with new design and everything. I was like, well, goddamn, y'all closed, ain't it?
I was slightly jealous because I was an essential worker. So So I was
Bruh.
still out there.
I was jealous too because I got family
slightly
members got a
jealous.
restaurant, and their PPP was first of all was John. And this is the other thing: how you move when that obstacle come. They got it. They didn't need it. They got it because they was like, oh, everybody was like, oh crap,
Get it, yeah.
Right? They made some adjustments. Their revenue went up. They gave it back. They ain't used not a dime. They said, we don't need this.
Yeah.
Here you go. Give it to somebody that need it.
I got you.
And it was a significant amount. It wasn't like, we didn't at the time really have any employees the way they did the math. So we got PPP. It was like $13.45.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that's that's the entrepreneurial part with the mindset part. This is the challenge. How am I going to face it? And then how we going to make it happen? And what came out on the other end. So a lot of people that still exist post shutdown COVID stuff, they did that. And that's why it's still around. They're probably stronger business. Well, I know we are. You probably are too. Because you had to figure out how to make it work. And then when you came back stronger.
And,
you know
I
what
still
I mean?
got both elements.
You kept the other side.
Right,
It ain't
right.
like you got rid of the other side.
Right.
It added extra revenue.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
And problem solving, man.
Problem solving. You got to be, that's part of the mindset thing too. If we had an umbrella that was mindset, everything under problem solving would probably be towards the top. You know, courage would be towards the top.
Right.
Because courage is not the absence of fear, right? It's the doing it even though you're fearful.
It's doing it in fear.
Right. It's courage that really we talking about when we talk about fear. We're talking about possessing a certain level of courage to do it anyway. So it does go back to the problem solving. The mindset is a conversation that we could probably just go on and on and on and on and on. And the more people you talk about that reach a certain level of success, they all talk about the same thing. They just did it anyway.
Right.
It's a did it anyway mentality.
Definitely. I mean, that segue way. I don't know how to say that word.
Segue.
Yeah, do they still got Segway tours in Richmond?
I don't know.
I want to take one.
Oh, man. You talking about on the little bikes?
Yeah, if they still got one, I want to do it. Let's
yeah.
So that the people above can help pull you forward and you help pull the other people forward. And then on the personal side, still like-minded people who are more focused on not the stuff we were focused on when we were a lot younger. And I guess like gossipy stuff and just like BSing around. I mean, I got friends, we still cool, but we not close like we used to be. Yeah. Because, you know, it's just...
You thinking different.
The
value system is different.
Yeah, it is different, and you got to be willing to be okay with that, I think. So I'm with you. The like-minded people you always want to be around, because those are people that when you start talking about something, not going to shoot it down immediately, and not going to always be like, that's dumb. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at least think about it.
Yeah.
Or they not going to tell you it's not going to work as soon as it come out your mouth.
Right.
You ain't even hear what my idea of it is. It's just like, man, that's being done. It ain't gonna work. Like that's
like it's a million people doing podcasts, bro. Why you want to do another podcast?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It's like, but ain't nobody doing it like me.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
But people don't think like that. And if you surround yourself with that type of mindset, that's how you're gonna think. Everything you come across you, every opportunity come across you, you're gonna be like, man, that ain't gonna work. I ain't even gonna fool with that.
Yeah.
But if you got people in your corner like, man, at least hear them out, or at least, man, see if you like it.
Try it out.
See what happens.
Yeah,
you might run
like
into
fall in love with it.
Yeah. You definitely need to be around people that is more of the see what happens people. Mm-hmm. You want to be around the let's see what happens people, not the that's not a good idea people.
Optimistic people.
Yeah. The thing that everybody say, like that story where like, do you want to, if you want to build a house, why would you ask somebody advice who never built a house? You're not gonna ask for directions from somebody that never built a house. That doesn't make any sense, and that's this too. Yeah,
I see that on my timeline on Facebook. You got 1 billion people talking about all this relationship advice. And matter of fact, let's talk about this Chris Rock thing. I mean,
get
this Will Smith smack, man. Because
I'm like, I already spent my 5 minutes on it today. I'm not talking about it.
Listen. So my position is, one, Will ain't did nothing wrong. I don't care what setting we are in, the Grammys, my backyard, the bedroom, or whatever. When my wife is being attacked, regardless of how the outside people perceive our intimate relationship, it is my duty. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know what them conversations is that Jada had with Will in regards to her alopecia and how it affects her.
Yeah.
You know, women's self-image is, you know what I mean, fragile.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They wait, you know what I'm saying? They always checking, you know, I can lose 10 more pounds. No, boo, you all right.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She in there, you know what I mean, not eating. She
Yeah.
eat 2 biscuits. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like we don't know what them intimate details were. So when Chris Rock, of course, he doing his job being a comedian, but at the end of the day, he was poking fun at an issue that might have been sore for them.
Yeah, it might have been yeah, like you said, it might have been that pig you don't poke or that bear you don't poke.
Yeah. Well, here's my 2 cents.
Yeah, let's get it.
Yeah, here's my 2 cents. I mean, right after the fact that I don't really care that much. Secondly,
yeah.
That's how I was feeling. That's how I was feeling.
I mean, I was certainly shocked. I thought it was like fake. When he was walking up there, the walk was kind of like
Yo,
one of them.
walk with gangsters.
Was one of them little fake walk, like, yo, I'm about to do this. I thought it was a
I
thing.
thought it was fake too.
I thought he was coming up there to poke a joke or something.
Yeah.
I ain't see that one coming.
Yeah,
thought
me
it was
neither. And then even when I first started, there was no audio. So I thought it was because the motion was real exaggerated.
You saw the memes first.
Yeah. So then when somebody played it with the raw audio, which was supposed to be the raw, then you kind of hear the smack. Yeah. And it was just a lot of exaggerated arm movements with a smack that looked like with all of that, if you smack somebody. I told Chris this morning, it looked like one of them, ever seen one of them videos for the smack contest? Yeah. Where they just smack each other in the face till one of them pass out? Yeah. It kind of looked like that, but Chris Rock's reaction didn't like snap him, to me, in real time, not slowed down or the after. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But anyway, I was like, people were like, oh, she got alopecia. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't really follow, like, all the...
Yeah.
I don't even know the word of it. I don't follow any like the news. I don't keep up with anything, so I'm really out of the pit. I don't know anything.
Right.
That's current event type stuff like that. But I'm like, man, I wonder if Chris Rock didn't either, because maybe he just in his own bubble and he don't know.
Yeah.
Because when people start popping off like, oh yeah, she's been real public with her alopecia.
That's exactly.
And
what
I'm
I
like,
said.
what public though?
I said when I didn't hear nothing about this.
Yeah.
Like when did this happen? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then
Sound like
I'm
you
like,
want to
what?
send her a card.
Yeah, but then I'm like, what is alopecia? I don't even know what it is. That was the second thing. Like, what is that a sensitive thing that make you lose your hair? Yeah.
But yeah,
I thought the joke was funny. I ain't gonna front.
Bro.
I thought it was funny.
My wife said, and I think she was right. She said she thinking this has been going on between them for a minute.
Probably so.
Because I just know me. Mm-hmm. If I tell a joke or whatever, if somebody come walk on the stage and slap me, I don't care what setting it is. I'm gonna react. Like he didn't react, and I'm like, yo, this either have to be fake.
Nah, he knew he was in the wrong.
Or yeah, he like, oh, I pressed the wrong button. But it was like, I was like, dang, yo, like it did look hella fake. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, wow, he just really because you don't expect that from Will. You don't expect that type
that's the
of
thing, though. That's the issue. Yeah. Will been a Fresh Prince for how many years? So we always looking at whether we know Will to be from Philly, we still perceive Will to be that soft guy.
Yeah, he the token black boy in Hollywood. That's how I see him.
He tired of that, though.
Yeah, I can tell.
Well, look,
he's slapping people now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
To me, it still was funny.
It definitely was.
It was a GI look, and I was like, "Oh, that was funny." Then I looked like, "Oh, she had on green and she was bald." Okay, that was funny.
She definitely was feeling that.
I definitely didn't expect the whole "keep my wife out your mother effing mouth."
Yo,
I looked at it twice, like, was that Will Smith?
Yeah,
Was that Will Smith? And he looked, his face looked like,
he was ready.
He was a well up was happening. Like, okay, so
like, I know what's going on.
Yeah.
Man.
You just sucked me to another 5 minutes of that.
Now
I'm definitely over the limit. 10 minutes for the day. I'm done.
Don't say you don't care no more, because I'm gonna make sure the door locked. Will might walk through this bitch.
Right, walk through.
You know what it is. You think I'm sitting here still? You got a whole nother thing.
Yo, he is not playing no more, bro. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all, man, for real, showing up, man, doing this the first episode. I got more topics, man, I want to talk about with y'all, man.
No
for
question.
real.
Yeah.
And before we go, you know what I'm saying, I want to just, wrap it up, man. So I'm going to give each one of y'all an opportunity to just your final thoughts on today's discussion.
Oh, I'll go.
Okay. Final thoughts. Mindset. Change it, and be willing to keep changing it. That's the only way you're gonna be successful with that. And that's not even if you just want to be an entrepreneur. That's just life in general. To be successful, period, you gotta be willing to be fluid, and you gotta continue to grow. And the only way to do that is to be willing to change your mindset. As you get more information, your perspective is expected to change. If you get more information but keep the same perspective that got you to where you are, and you're not where you want to be, then you gotta make the change. You gotta be willing to do that. If not, you just be content with where you are, which is nothing wrong with that, no matter where you are. But then don't complain.
You definitely don't.
You're not allowed to complain. So that's how I'm gonna end it. Keep that mindset moving, baby.
I only want to add, just make sure you do your due diligence, man, in anything that you do, whether it's a lemonade stand or whatever. Make sure that you then not just verbally express, what your goals are. Like, definitely do that homework.
Mm-hmm.
Legwork is important. Be consistent. I don't care how many people out there doing what you doing. Just like how bruh said, they ain't gonna do it like me.
Yeah.
And what's gonna set you apart? It's a million people doing paint nights. You know how what I say I'm gonna do? I'm gonna outwork them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let your work speak for itself, and get the people quality.
Yep. That's a whole nother one. That's a whole nother topic. Quality.
Quality.
As like I said,
Yeah.
I got more of these. Don't trust me. We coming back with more. I'm definitely appreciate y'all, man, for real. Let the people know how they can reach you.
Go get that popcorn.
Yeah, for real. You can. I'm on all the social medias at Rialand Jones, RIALAND Jones, and the popcorn store. You can check us at Lamar Marie on Instagram and Facebook. LamarMarie.com.
Well, for those who don't know, I'm located inside Regency Square Mall. The business name is called Paint and Sip. You can find me on social media under Paint Sip LLC. No N when you're putting it in social media. PAINTSIP LLC. Facebook and IG.
And as my wife would say, it'll all be in the show notes. So
Yeah,
it'll all be in the show notes. But I guess I can shout myself out.
Yeah,
Look,
definitely do.
hey, I'm Aaron Rock, owner of Golden Touch Mobile Detailing, man. Y'all can find me, Golden Touch Mobile Detailing RVA on Instagram. And thank y'all, man, for listening, man.
Yeah, much love. Thanks.
Appreciate it. Check us out next time on the Breakdown.
Yeah.